Hi, this is Alex from phpacademy.org with a video tutorial for the new Boston. In this tutorial we're going to be taking a look at multiple selectors and how we can select two elements on a page if we want to assign, for example, an event handler to them. Now, as an example, I'm going to go ahead and create a button and a paragraph, and both of these are going to take the same action when we click on them. When we click on the button, we're going to show an alert dialog, and when we click on the paragraph, we're also going to show an alert dialog. However, we're going to use multiple selectors to bind the two elements, or select the two elements, and perform the same action. Now I'm going to go ahead and do it the incorrect way first of all, and then I'm going to go ahead and adjust this and do it the correct way using multiple selectors. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and create a button. So the input type is button. I'm going to give this a value, and this is called click me, or press me more appropriately. I'm going to go ahead and assign an ID to this, and this is just going to be button. And I'm going to come down, I'm going to create a paragraph as well, and I'm going to give this an ID of paragraph. So inside here I'm going to say click me. Now if we go over to our page and refresh, you see we've got a button here which we can click, and a paragraph which we can also click once we've assigned event handlers to both of them. So we're going to go over to selectors.js, which is an external file that I've created where we're going to write our JavaScript code, and we're going to write jQuery inside of here. However, I'm going to go ahead and need to include this on my page first of all. So I'm going to use a script include here to include the source of a JavaScript file. Obviously it's always better to keep JavaScript code external and in different files. So I choose this selectors.js file, and that's type text/JavaScript, exactly the same as we include jQuery. So we've now got the use of jQuery and this selectors.js file, which is currently blank. So we need to go ahead and first of all assign an event handler to this button. So we do that using normal selectors. Remember, we have an ID of button, so in here we use a hash, and then we give the name of the ID, or the value of the ID, and then we assign a click event handler to this. Now inside here we're going to go ahead and create a function, and just bring this code down so we have, or this line here down, so we have the space in here to write this out and indent. It looks a lot nicer. And I'm going to go ahead and alert something out. So let's say something was clicked, or something was pressed clicked. So now we have this click event handler assigned to this button ID. We go ahead and alert something out. So let's go ahead to our page and test this. When I click press me, you'll see something was pressed /clicked. So we have the correct alert box. Now with regards to the paragraph, there's no event handler bound to this, so we need to go ahead and add this event handler. Now this is the incorrect way to do it, so don't take this as the advice I'm giving you, but we would go ahead, and if we were using the paragraph, we'd do it in exactly the same way. So we'd use a hash to reference the ID paragraph. So we go ahead and type in paragraph, and then we use the same event handler just here with a function inside of it, with our block of code here which we can bring down, and again we do exactly the same thing. So alert something was pressed /clicked. So now what's going to happen is we've bound this event handler to our paragraph. So now when we click our paragraph, we have this message here which we defined just here. Now if we wanted the same alert box to happen for both of these elements, what we've actually done here is unnecessarily duplicated code. So we can use an unlimited amount of handlers inside of one selector. So let's go ahead and adjust this accordingly. Now we've already referenced hash button, so the button that has the ID button. Now what we can do is comma separate the values that we want to use in each selection. So now I can just add in paragraph here, and what jQuery will do is it will select both of these elements and apply this event handler to it. So now when we go over to our page, we have the same result when we click the button, and we have the same result when we click the paragraph as well. So now that we've bound this to both of our elements, we have the same action performed for each paragraph. Now what happens if we want to go ahead and only assign this to, example, only buttons on our page? We can use the button selector. So it's input and then a colon and button. So this will select all input types with the type button, or all input fields with the type button, as well as any IDs with paragraph. However, we can also go ahead and change this and just use P. So we don't just need to reference using IDs, we can now remove these IDs, and what this selector has now done is selected all buttons on the page or all paragraphs on the page. So if you had a few buttons that you wanted to log an event, for example, for each button that's pressed on your entire page, you can go ahead and just use this input button selector. So as well as using multiple selectors, I guess now we've learned that you can use a type selector rather than referencing it with a hash and its ID. So all paragraphs and all input buttons or input fields with a type button are now going to be assigned this event and will alert a dialog when they are clicked. So let's go ahead to our page and just test that. Press the button and we see the button has been pressed and we have this alert box, and when we click the paragraph we also have the same alert box as well. So we can go ahead and we can assign an unlimited amount of event handlers just here inside of our selector. So that's how we use multiple selectors in jQuery and how you can dramatically reduce duplicating code using this method.